So today I have something interesting to review, unbox, whatever you want to call it. I have the ASROCK N3700 Mini-ITX SoC. It cost like maybe 30 bucks, something like that. Didn't cost too much. It comes with an I/O shield, a set of 3 cable. The battery, I had it here. It comes without the battery, so I just put it here to put it in. And it comes in this anti-static bag. It also that's the box. I already unboxed it because I had to take a look. It comes in a bubble wrap thing. It also has a anti-static bag and this pink foam thing. So let me just pull it out and we'll take a closer look. So this is what the board looks like. It's a really small board, Mini-ITX, as I mentioned. It has passive cooling. I think you don't need any more than that for this type of CPU. This would do just fine. And yeah, I think this would be great. So over here we have 4 SATA ports. USB 3. They use the SODIMM laptop kind of RAM, which I have. It's okay, I have those. For the PCIe, they use the X1. They only have X1 PCIe Gen 2, I believe, 2.0. So this is an old motherboard, a very old one. So yes, and CPU fan. No, this is a system fan. CPU fan over here. Also, it uses a like 3-pin, but you have a passive cooler, so you don't need that fan. It doesn't have any fan or anything. These are the USB 2 headers. There's one here too. No, this is the front panel. This is the USB 2 headers. This is just a COM or whatever. This is the HD audio headers. Yeah. This is where you would install the Wi-Fi card and GFF kind of Wi-Fi card. 24-pin. There is no 8-pin or anything. This is a really low-powered motherboard. It doesn't require much power. The CPU peaks at 6 watts. The TDP on it, anyway. We'll have to check and see what kind of power it actually takes while under load or whatever. But yeah. So let's take a look at the side. See the back panel IOs or whatever. So you have your audio stuff over here, line in, microphone, fiber, and all those 7.1s. USB 3s, you get 4 of those, these and that, and RJ45. I would have to utilize that one. Yeah, you get like an HDMI and display port on it, and then DVI. You had the old PS2 keyboard and mouse connector, and 2 USB 2s, which is cool. Yeah, so the purpose of this mother, nothing on the back over here. It's just the board. So the purpose of this thing, what I bought it for, is because I want to use it as a small NAS for a media center. I'm gonna be putting it into the fractal design node 304. I previously made a video about it. I tried to sell it, but unsuccessfully. So I just had enough of it, like sitting around. I decided I'm just gonna like make like either a NAS for a media center or a NAS for backup, like a backup server kind of stuff, a NAS, whatever you want to call it, and just like back up my files in there or whatever. So yeah, I wanted to make a usage out of the case, so I bought this. This is the only part I had missing. I already have hard drives in there and power supply, so it's all good. So I just I wanted to get this motherboard so I can yes, install a system in there. So I will be installing, first of all, I'll try to use a media center with the xpenology, and if that doesn't work out and I'm gonna like use it for like a backup server just for backups, I'm just gonna install truenas on it. I will have to get an SSD as well, because yeah, truenas doesn't work too well on those USB flash drives. They would actually fry themselves like eventually. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to do that. So I would just get like a maybe 60 gigabytes SSD. I've seen those on AliExpress. Yeah, something like that would be enough. Just to install truenas on it, but we'll see. First, I'm gonna try to use it as a media server, and we'll see how that works out. I really care about the wattage, like what's the electrical consumption, the power consumption is gonna be for this one. So for me, that's what's gonna be selling. Yeah, that's what's gonna determine if I'm gonna use it as a media server or a backup server, the power consumption, basically, because I'm looking to at least use it as a 16 by 7, like 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, or 24/7, of course. If I could use it 24/7, that'll be great, but if not, I can set up like a schedule, like a power schedule in xpenology for it to work for most of the day, like at least 16 hours, you know, day to night, like midnight or something, and yeah, and then it could shut itself off and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see. First of all, I have to do a few tests, and yeah, and I have, this thing has like 6 hard drives. All right, so, and notice we only have 4 ports on this motherboard, so we're missing like 2 more. So I did buy like one of those PCIe X1 to 2 SATA 3 ports, so it still didn't arrive, it still didn't show up yet, so I'm waiting for that to arrive. It's probably gonna arrive next week. We'll just wait, to be honest, but we'll see. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to be putting this into the case, and I'll pick it back up and I'll show you how it looks like inside the case, and of course we'll test fire this thing and see how it goes. So yeah, let's see. So I installed the motherboard inside this Node 304. Sorry for the mess. I'm still not able to cable manage these cables because I'm waiting for the SATA controller to add 2 more hard drives. Because as I mentioned before, this hard drive, this motherboard only has 4 SATA ports, so I need 2 more. So I will be installing like that adapter thing in the X1 over there, and it'll give me 2 more ports to power these hard drives on. So basically I installed it, and everything works well. At first it was in Chinese because I bought it from on AliExpress, and it came in a Chinese version, but in case you're buying this motherboard and you're looking how to change the language, it's right there. It's at first it comes in this language. I believe this is Chinese or whatever. It will show up like this, all in Chinese. So don't worry. It's not like you cannot change this thing. It's right here. You just click it on it, and you can change it to English, Chinese, Japanese. I don't know which one is Japanese or Chinese, but there is like Spanish, German, Russian, and yeah, some of those are gotta be Chinese or Japanese. I don't speak any of those, so I wouldn't know. So all you have to do is just click English if you're like me and you're only speaking English, understanding English. So that's all you have to do. So yeah, basically you get all kind of nice features over here. You get the name of the UEFI version, the name of the processor, the Intel Pentium N3700. Now it's running at 1.6 gigahertz because I enabled echo mode, because I need like the absolute power saving as much as I can on this, and I've installed like 8 gigabyte RAM on it. So then it runs at 1600, as you can see. Nothing else. It's just 8 gigabyte. I don't need any more than that. It's just gonna be used as for xpenology and maybe a backup server. I don't need anything like that anymore. CPU configurations, and you can set up like the speeds. Yeah, that's where you enable echo mode, or sport. You get like let me open this up. You get eco mode, normal mode, and sport mode. I might just like change it back to normal mode. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Chipset. You get all kind of options to enable or disable onboard audio or HDMI audio, and if you need like a deep S5, like an S5 state, that way you can power your PC with the keyboard, or some other options. I think they mentioned that over there. USB, like 3 USBs or whatever. Yeah, good night LAN. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't matter. Storage configuration is just shows you the hard drives that you have. You want to enable like a hot swap or whatever for the hard drives, so it could act like it's an external or whatever. Won't need that. Intel RTM, Super I/O configuration, blah blah blah. CPI. Again, this is like has to do with your wake up LAN, USB mouse power on, keyboard, blah blah blah. Yeah, all that good stuff. Legacy USB support, and the tool you can choose to flash your BIOS. I actually have to check if there is like a newer version of this BIOS. It's a very old motherboard, so maybe it's flashed to the max. I don't know, but if there is like a BIOS update, I'll do it. Oh, you have an option to download it through the network. I wouldn't trust that. I would just go on the ASROCK website and just get it from there. It's better. Instant flash. Alright, this is where your HW monitor, your temperatures will be. Right now it sits on 47 Celsius for the motherboard, and the CPU is at 41.5. This is not too bad. I mean, it's alright. This, mind you, this is like a passive cooler. So there is no fan on it or anything. It's just passive cooling on it. So yeah, that's all there is to it. And I think it's pretty impressive, in my opinion. It's pretty nice. Security, alright. You can set up password, you know, all the usual stuff on the motherboards. I don't need to mention. And this is where you choose the boot priorities and fast boot. I have it disabled and everything. Yeah, we don't need that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This pretty much covers everything. Right now I don't have any operating system or anything. I'm still waiting for that controller, and that way I would be able to use this USB right here, the Samsung Ultra Fit. This is just like a 32 gigabyte. Doesn't really matter how much. Even if it was 8, it would be enough. We're just gonna stick it over here and like right here and install xpenology on it, and that'll be enough. But if I'm gonna go with the backup server route, then I'm gonna use I'm gonna have to get like an SSD, like maybe double side, use a double side tape to tape it to the case, like over here or whatever, and just yeah, install truenas on it, because as I mentioned, like a truenas wouldn't survive. They even tell you that, the developers, they specifically said that you really need like an SSD or something. Like even a mechanical hard drive would be better than this, because these won't survive. Like they might survive for a while, but out of the blue, bam, it's gonna go, and you don't want that. Trust me, you really don't. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it. This has pretty much been the video about the ASROCK N3700-ITX. It's a very nice motherboard SoC with a soldered CPU on it. It's not bad. The power consumption is just as I thought. It's not too crazy. It takes, let me show you. It takes like, I have like a wattage meter over here. I don't know if you can see it, but it stands on 63.2.0.1 watts on idle. Now this is not too bad. I mean, all the hard drives are connected and everything. This is like the consumption with the hard drives connected and everything. This is on idle. I need to see how it's gonna be once I run like a few Dockers on it, like Plex and some other stuff. And once I like use a direct play or maybe even transcode. I don't know if I could like get a good transcoding on this thing, but it doesn't really matter, because mostly what I do is I just, you know, do a direct play it doesn't really matter. So the point is, I'm just gonna have to see, keep an eye on the consumption to see if it's worth it for me. Because if not, I'm just gonna run my Plex server, my Plex Docker off of my main PC over there, and my DAS, my direct attached storage over there. This is the 4U one, as you can see. Yeah, so that's what I'm currently doing, to be honest. But I'm looking to minimize the power consumption a little bit, to get it down a little bit, and maybe even put this 24/7. So we'll see. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.